Let's start off with the big sports betting story of the day. Underdog and Crypto.com make a big announcement. Sports event contracts will now be accessible to customers through the Underdog platform. Prediction markets making a very big splash. Users will be able to trade sports events and contracts across all major sports leagues on the Underdog app. So a workaround, essentially, for sports betting. They're not calling it that, but that's essentially what it is. All right, last night's debut, not pretty for Bill Belichick in North Carolina in Chapel Hill. My gosh, they led this game 7-0 and then were outscored 48-7 the remainder of the game. Michael Jordan in attendance, Lawrence Taylor in attendance, but the Tar Heels were really not in attendance in this game. Nothing worked on offense through a pick six. Nothing worked on defense as they gave up 41 points. And Bill Belichick seemingly says it's time to go back to the drawing board in the postgame.
We played competitively, but then just couldn't sustain it. So obviously we have a lot of work to do. We need to do a better job all the way around, coaching, playing, all three phases of the game. Just wasn't up to what it needs to be, and I know we're a lot better than that. So we'll need to work on those things and show it on Saturday and turn around. But give TCU credit; they came in and did a good job, and they were clearly the better team tonight. They deserved to win, and they did it decisively. You said it. We got to do a better job of tackling. There's no doubt about that. And so we're just gonna have to work harder on it, tackle better. There's no secret to it. There's no pill you can take. You just got to, have to tackle better fundamentally and get more guys around the ball, so we're not, so many tackles in space.
Big weekend in the state of Florida, my home state, for virtually everyone, including South Florida and Florida State and Florida, and of course the University of Miami, who beat Notre Dame on Sunday night, 27-24. Carson Beck threw 205 yards in his debut for the Hurricanes. He also threw 2 touchdowns. Head coach Mario Cristobal, of course, has had some issues in the past closing out games and almost couldn't close this one out too, as Notre Dame came storming back in the fourth. But Cristobal talking about, in the end, getting the job done.
We started well, had the issue with the field goal, and then the middle eight was awesome. Scored at the end of the half, scored on the way out, and then we stalled, and big play by the defense, getting the turnover. Ruben returns it. We didn't get a touchdown. We settled for a field goal. A lot of confidence there, Carter. And, after that, we all felt that, in practice, he hits him at 55 plus, actually hit 2 63-yarders, So we have a lot of confidence in him. We have a lot of confidence in the snapper, the holder, and the guys protecting. So it was, it's what we practice, Our practice and preparation became game reality.
The biggest upset of the weekend in Tallahassee, number 8 Alabama visits Doak Campbell Stadium, 31-17 the final. Alabama was almost 14-point favorites in this game, and it was not close from start to finish. Looked very much like Florida State could be a different team this year than they were a year ago. Unfortunately for Kalen DeBoer, when that poll comes out later today, Alabama will drop significantly.
Had some opportunities to get back in the game there. Name of the game is that we can't be hesitant early on. Okay, we got to start faster in all ways. Yes, I know we went down and scored first drive, pieced some plays together, and found a way to put it in the end zone. But just the next couple series, both sides of the ball, we got to do a better job. And we had opportunities there in the second half. But we gave them life. We gave them hope and confidence in the first half there. And then what it does is it puts you in a spot where you got to be perfect. You're playing from behind, and you got to be perfect. And the stress on the guys to make every play becomes greater and greater. And I choose to believe we got a good football team, but we can't play on our heels. Like, we're not going to be what we think we can be, what we want to be, if that's the case. And
the battle of 1 versus 3 goes to number 3. Ohio State takes care of business at home Saturday afternoon, defeating Texas 14-7 in the game. It was all the Buckeyes defense dominating this one from start to finish. Arch Manning was the Heisman favorite going into the game, no longer the case after he was 17 of 30 for just 170 yards. Ryan Day talked about getting the little things done, especially on defense, to get the win.
In week one, we can't beat ourselves. We wanted to let them beat us. And, for a first-time starter, you just don't want to put them in that situation. So hindsight says we did the right thing, but, you're never too sure. But I thought the drive that the offense had there in the first half, I think we ate up over 8 minutes off the clock, which was part of the game plan, because we wanted to keep their offense off the field, and then to finish it with that 4th and 1 was big, and then the play by Carnell. But the story of the game was the defense. Matt, I thought, put a good game plan together. The coaches put a good game plan together, but the grittiness of our guys running around. There's a lot we can build on here, a lot we have to improve on. The team you see right now will not even be close to the team you see halfway through the season or at the end of the year, but it certainly makes the corrections a lot easier to make after a win against a top 5 opponent like this.
Great environment in Clemson, South Carolina on Saturday night, but the end result not as good. LSU defeats Clemson 17-10 to come back to win that game. Expect LSU to move way up in the poll this week. Announcement yesterday, pretty big one, by the way, from Sean McVay. Matthew Stafford, who didn't play at all in the preseason or practice at all, is going to start this week. Stafford is back at quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams as they open up coming up this weekend. So good news for them. On the flip side, the Packers are being a little cagey with Micah Parsons. As of right now, his status still uncertain. He, of course, did not practice or play at all in the preseason, and they're saying that he could play in week 1, but they're not entirely sure, which is kind of funny that Stafford will play, but Parsons will not. Okay. The Steelers have extended, by the way, Jaylen Warren, their running back, 2 years, $12 million ahead of their weekend opener, so stay tuned for that when they take on, of course, the New York Jets. Najee Harris cleared for contact. Good news for him. He'll play Friday night. Devon Achane will play for the Dolphins against the Colts. He's expected to practice this week. And also good news for the 49ers as Jawan Jennings practiced for the first time in more than a month. He has a calf issue, looking for a contract extension or a trade, by the way, as the 49ers get ready to play their first game of the season. The number 2 quarterback for the Giants is still uncertain, and it looks like it could be Jackson Dart. It could be Jameis Winston. Brian Daboll says he'll make his announcement ahead of the game coming up this weekend. C.J. Gardner-Johnson will play for the Texans. He hasn't practiced for a month. And Tyreek Hill, by the way, for the first time since 2022, not a team captain, either with the Chiefs or the Dolphins. How about that? All right, Juan Soto with a big grand slam yesterday. The Mets needed it. They beat the Tigers 10-8. The Phillies rallied for a 10-8 victory in Milwaukee against the Brewers, and Carson Kelly was the hero for the Cubs. They beat the Braves 7-6 in 10 innings.